students, this is Heather. I wanted to go over the infant toddler observation assignment to give you guys some helpful tips and how to help you be successful in assignment. So what I'm going to do now is actually screen share. And I'm going to go step by step since I know many of us are still getting used to the learning module. So if we went into our class, we have to go to the home page. So you'd click into our class. You would go over to the button called Assignments and you would select. Now, where you're turning all your online assignments is in Turn In Here. So I'm actually going to click on here and you'll be able to see. So our theories paper has already been turned in. So if you keep scrolling down, you won't be able to see this. Only I'll be able to see it right now. Now, here is where our infant toddler assignment is going to be turned in. So this kind of gives you the step-by-steps. It gives you the due date and it gives you all the requirements of the assignment. I'm going to actually pull up the PDF to kind of help us a little bit more because it has the grading rubric on it. So with this assignment, it is going to be worth 75 points. Students either pick infant or toddler. You do not complete both. So please do not give me both. Don't want to stress you out more than you already are. So we're just going to do infant or toddler. Due to the coronavirus that's going on, we will be watching videos instead of actually finding a child because we just want to keep everyone safe. So you either pick one or the other. I'll show you the video in a minute. I'm not going to play it, but I can show you where it's located. So what you're really going to be doing, so if you choose the infant one, you're going to be looking at chapters 5, 6, and 7 to get a lot of your information. Since we are watching the video, you're going to make the child's name up, whatever you want. Where is it done at is actually in the infant's home. I just randomly found this on YouTube. The child is 7 months old. So when you're starting to get into more the bulk of this assignment, what we're going to have is what is called our developmental domains. So the first domain you're going to be addressing and watching the video on is looking at the physical development. So all these items that you're going to be looking at, such as this one right here, that's your physical growth. So you're going to be answering all these questions based on that video. So I'm not going to go through the whole questions because our video would be way too long. So you need to address physical growth. You need to address perception. You're going to need to address motor development. So it gives you specific questions. And then what you're going to do at the end of every developmental domain is what you're going to be talking about, your concluding thoughts or analysis. So it says write a brief summary. You guys know I like detail. So I want some meat in this area too. So what you're going to be doing is basically summarizing the above information. You're going to be connecting it to your textbook or the PowerPoint, and you need to be citing an APA. So I'm going to be looking for that. So you need to also address, do you think this child is typical or atypical? So we understand that, development is a range, but do you feel this child is typical or atypical? And you're going to be providing information why you feel that way. So you have to kind of support your thoughts with your textbook or your PowerPoint, and you're going to be citing an APA. So basically, I'm looking for specific terminology like vocabulary terms, milestones, and descriptions. So I want a lot of detail in that area. What you're also going to need to do is providing a minimum at least 2 sources from the textbook or from PowerPoint. So that's going to be looking for just on our physical development. Now, the next domain we're going to be focusing on is the cognitive development and the language development. So you're going to be answering these series of questions. You're going to be looking at the video. For the infant one, the video is actually with her mother. So you'll be able to see how she's engaging. You can't ever see the mom, but you can still kind of dictate how she's engaging. And remember, she's only 7 months old. So at the end of answering all those questions, you're also going to be doing the concluding thought analysis again. So this is going to be specifically for cognitive and language development. So you're going to be summarizing your impressions of their cognitive and language developmental skills. Remember, I like details, so give me details. You're also going to need to cite textbook again. You're going to have to support your thoughts. You need to cite an APA. You're also going to be addressing, do you feel this child is typical or atypical? Remember, if you're going to make a claim, you have to support your claim with textbook or PowerPoint and cite an APA. You need to use vocabulary terms, milestone descriptions, just as in the previous one. So at least 2 sites, if not more. And then the next domain is your social and emotional domain. So you're going to be answering these questions. You're going to be looking at, how do they laugh, smile, all those type of things. And you're also going to be looking at temperament. So you're going to be addressing temperament. What do you feel the child is? With these being said, in any of the above questions or in the other developmental domain questions, if you can't really get anything from the video, you should, because I've already went through the videos, and you should be able to answer most of the questions. If you can't, you're going to provide a hypothetical citing textbook type of situation. So once again, you want a social, emotional, developmental, concluding thoughts and analysis. So this is a brief summary, but I like detail. Talking about social and emotional specifically. In this, I want you to connect textbook or PowerPoint to what you observe. Once again, you're going to address if the child's typical or atypical. Remember, this child was only 7 months old. I'm looking for specific vocabulary terms. I'm looking for milestone descriptions. And you do need to cite an APA, so support your claims. You need to cite at least 2 times. And then the next one is going to be your interrelationship of domains and development. So this is really looking at, you're going to be combining all 3 of those developmental domains in a more specific approach. So we are going to be addressing developmental domains separately, but in reality, most of the time they kind of intertwine with each other. So this section, you're going to be picking an activity that kind of reflects the domains. You're going to describe the activity. You make this up, you guys. I will go with you as long as you're describing. And you're really going to be focusing on the child's current skills, how to help their outcomes, how to improve it. I'm looking for all 3 developmental domains again. And so that is one bulk of our assignment. Then at the end is what we call our concluding thoughts. So this needs to be more of like an in-depth paragraph, if not longer. What you're going to be doing is discussing the 4 significant concepts that you've learned from the infant observation. So this is not just a list. You do have to have a sentence for each concept. You need to kind of explain what was significant that you learned about the assignment, a certain developmental domain that maybe you weren't aware of, or some concept that you weren't aware of. Your other part of your concluding thoughts is you're going to be providing an action plan. So you're going to have 3 goals and what you want to kind of improve in. So with these improvements or like your goals of action, you are going to be looking at this as if you were a future educator or a parent. So I want 3 specific goals. It's not going to be just a list again. You're going to have to give me detail to this. You're really going to talk about the skills that you develop and what you want to improve on. And this is really going to be the bulk of the infant one. So let's now address the toddler one. So the toddler one, I do provide a video for you guys again. You're going to be looking at chapters 5, 6, and 7. You're going to make up the child's name because I don't know his name. You need to focus on the Caucasian boy that's in the blue shirt and he has blonde hair. Where this is located is at the child's daycare. I'm approximating he's about 30 months, not really sure because I don't know him. I found it on YouTube again. And it's very similar to the infant assignment. So remember, you're only picking infant or you're picking toddler. Now, with the toddler one, you're going to be talking about the developmental domains. So your first developmental domain you're going to be addressing, and remember, follow this format. You need to follow this format or it's going to be affecting your grade. So the first one you're going to be talking about for the toddler is physical development. So you're going to be addressing physical growth. You're going to answer the questions. You're also going to talk about motor development, and you're going to answer those questions. Then you're going to have that physical development, concluding thoughts and analysis. So remember, this is a summary of the information that you just provided. However, I like detail. You need to give me specific information. You need to cite textbook or PowerPoint and APA. You need to support your claim if you feel the child is typical or atypical. So you have to provide reasons to that. So you're going to be citing an APA, the textbook, or the PowerPoint. And you're really going to be looking at, I'm going to be looking for specific vocabulary terms and milestones again. And then the next developmental domain you're going to be addressing is the cognitive development and language development. So in this domain, you're going to be answering these questions in this area. So it has 3 questions. They're pretty in detail, so there's multiple questions within it. You're going to watch the observation video. You're going to be able to answer these questions. Then you're going to be talking about your cognitive and language developmental concluding thoughts and analysis. So I like detail, give me detail on this. And you're basically going to be readdressing the information above. So with that being said, you're going to talk about the child's language and cognitive development. You're going to provide, do you feel the child is typical or atypical? Remember, you have to support your thoughts on that with textbook or PowerPoint, which is cited in APA. I'm going to be looking for vocabulary terms and milestone descriptions on this. Then you're going to address the developmental domain of social and emotional development. So you're going to answer these series of questions, and you'll be able to answer the child is interacting with other kids in there, so you'll be able to see that. Sorry. So with the social emotional development concluding thoughts, you're going to be summarizing all the information that you just provided on social emotional development of this child. You're going to be addressing, specific developmental domain milestones, vocabulary terms. You're going to address if the child is what you consider typical or atypical developing, and you have to cite textbook or PowerPoint and APA. And then you're going to come down to the interrelationships of domains of development. So with this one, you're going to pick one activity again to kind of address these 3 developmental domains. You need to describe the activity. I will go with you guys. Good places to find activities is, I love Pinterest. You could try to find things on Pinterest. You can find things on the internet, but you're going to be describing them to me. You can think of one on your own. If most of you probably have not taken curriculum yet, so don't worry, I'm not going to be super detailed on it. But I want you to get your brain thinking about some different activities that you can do to help with the child in these areas of development. So with that, you're going to specifically talk about the toddler skills of each developmental domain and what type of behaviors that you're going to be helping with that. You want to talk about the child's current skills, and then you want to talk about potential long-term outcomes on those activities and that child. So with this being said, you're going to be talking about maturation. You're going to talk about the favorite, natures versus nurture. You're going to be looking at all the areas of development again. So you're going to be intertwining those 3 areas of development. Then you're going to have your concluding thoughts. So this is going to be an in-depth paragraph. You're going to discuss at least 4 concepts that you learned about the assignments on toddlers, not infants, because we're talking about toddlers. You do not want to just do a list. You want to do a significant concepts need to have at least a sentence each. You also need to provide an action plan. So the action plan is 3 goals that you would want to make for yourself as a future educator or as a parent. I'll go with you on either. They do need to be specific, so you're not going to make a list of 3 items. You're going to give me a sentence per goal and kind of explaining your goal. So what you want to develop, how can you improve things? Everybody can improve things, so don't worry. You're also going to need an APA reference page. If you guys are looking at the document, it gives you the actual grading rubric. So just for the observation, talking about, all those developmental domains is going to be 20 points. When you're identifying typical or atypical development, that's going to be worth 25 points. And you need to talk about cognitive, social, emotional, and physical. You're going to be talking about the interrelationships, kind of those activities, which is going to be 10 points. And then your conclusion, which is your 4 concepts, and your action plan is going to be 10 points. And then quality of writing, such as not having typos, no grammar, no run-on sentences, formatting. Did you follow the formatting? Are you citing an APA? Do you have an APA title page? Are you citing textbook and PowerPoint in an APA? And do you have an APA reference? Do you have APA reference page? Do you have an APA headers? Those are kind of what I'm looking for this assignment. So I am going to go back to the Turnitin to kind of show you how would you upload, because I know that's a question for some students. So you would actually click in the infant or toddler observation paper, and then it will show you this screen, and it kind of gives you all that information. I even talk about how to convert to a PDF. You do want to upload a file. You do want it in a PDF. With that being said, I give you the steps on how to make it a PDF and how to provide that. I even have the videos that you can watch in there. I also have the videos and your assignments right underneath the assignments for 2020. So with that being said, you would go into, I do not want a write a submission because this is way too long. So you're going to browse your computer. I'm just going to click on it so you can kind of know. And I'm just gonna grab activities, sure, why not? You have to click on the item, the file that you want to upload. Remember, I want PDFs. You're gonna push open. Then you're gonna be able to see your actual attachment. If you can't see your attachment, whatever you said with this little file name, then that means it didn't successfully go up. You're also going to be, I'm going to be submitting you guys on Safe Assign, which is looking for plagiarism. So just to kind of let you know, you will be looked at plagiarism. So please don't be plagiarizing. Hopefully you won't be doing that. And then you're going to push submit. So submit's very important that you push. You won't be able to see it. I'm actually not going to press it because I don't want this to submit. And I'm just going to push cancel. And that is the bulk of our observation paper. I do, if you go in back into assignments and go into the next folder after Turnitin, I just want to show you really quick where your guys' items are. So I actually have the PDF of the assignment right in here, so you'll be able to see that. I even have the videos, so the infant video, the toddler video, so you get to pick either or. I don't have a sample of the infant or toddler assignment, but I do have a sample of the preschool observation paper, which will be in the future. We won't even talk about it right now. So if you wanted to look at it, you can look at it. Just please note that there are errors. It's not perfect. Some items really need to be explained more. They need more information. There were some APA issues. They needed to cite more, but it really could help you if you're kind of really struggling, like what does Crazy Miss Heather want? So hopefully that will be helpful, and I hope everyone enjoyed this. And if you have any questions, please always email me. Thank you guys.